Welcome back, everyone. It is 7:14 on this Sunday morning, waking up with our Patriot Sunroom sunrise camera. That sunrise continuing to get later and later. Daylight saving time is 1 week away, however. Currently, we're sitting at 50 degrees at Lambert Airport. Going to be a chilly day, highs today only in the mid-60s.
In national headlines, 4 people are dead and others are injured after a driver drove into a crowd at the Oklahoma State University homecoming parade. Fox's Lauren Green has more on that tragedy.
A day of celebration turned to shock and horror in Oklahoma. That's after a driver plowed into spectators at the Oklahoma State University homecoming parade.
We are heartbroken at this tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those who died and of those who are injured.
Dozens are injured, and sadly there are several fatalities. Now that all of the victims have been removed from the scene, the investigation is underway.
At this point, the police department's accident reconstruction team is on scene. We treat these like we would any homicide investigation. It will probably take several days to get additional information as to cause of the accident.
The driver has been identified as 25-year-old Adacia Chambers. Police took Chambers into custody and charged her with driving under the influence. The university will have counselors on site for employees and students on Monday. The president of the university is calling Saturday's crash a tragedy.
The Oklahoma State homecoming parade is probably one of the most wholesome, happy events in the country. And to have it fouled like this and these victims, this terrible tragedy.
This is not the first tragedy to strike the school sports program. 10 people, including 2 OSU men's basketball players, were killed in a plane crash on their way back from a game in Colorado in 2001. And an Oklahoma State women's basketball coach and an assistant were killed in a plane crash in Arkansas during a 2011 recruiting trip. In New York, Lauren Green, Fox News.
You Decide 2016 new polls shows GOP candidate Ben Carson is leading Donald Trump in Iowa, while Jeb Bush reorganizes his own campaign strategy. Fox's Garrett Tenney has those details.
Jeb Bush's campaign has done extremely well on several fronts, leading all Republicans in size, organization, and in fundraising. But all of those things cost money, and they haven't been translating into success at the polls. So on Friday, the campaign announced it's taking a more lean and mean approach going forward, cutting payroll by 40%, downsizing its headquarters by more than 50%, and reducing travel costs by 20%. This morning, Jeb Bush told supporters in South Carolina it's no reason to worry.
These cuts are not really cuts in the sense that we're asking people to move out into the field where it matters. So we have, I think, the largest campaign operation in South Carolina. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be focused on winning.
The first in the nation state of Iowa has a new leader among GOP candidates. Dr. Ben Carson takes the top spot from Donald Trump in 2 separate polls released this week, leading the way among likely GOP caucus goers with 28% ahead of Trump at 19%. Yesterday, Dr. Carson was asked if he's now expecting to be an even bigger target of the Donald.
Well, I guess it really depends on whether he's a gentleman or not. I guess we'll find out. If he does attack me, I will continue to talk about the issues. I just really don't buy into the whole attack your, fellow Republicans thing. I'm just not going to do that.
Last night, Trump didn't hold back, calling the Iowa polls a joke and going after Carson's calm demeanor.
Ben Carson is the one that's leading Iowa, supposedly. Ben Carson is super low energy, right? It's super. He's super low. Super low energy. We need tremendous energy.
The next GOP debate is this Wednesday, and a strong performance will be especially critical for those candidates who are struggling in the polls and deciding whether or not to stay in the race. In Washington, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump mocked Jeb Bush in his own state on Saturday, saying recent campaign cuts show he's not ready to be president. Trump told a big crowd of thousands in Jacksonville, quote, "Here's a guy who wants to run our country and he can't even run his own campaign. And you know what? He's cutting back big." That comment came the day after the Bush campaign said it was cutting payroll by 40% by trimming staff and requiring an across-the-board pay cut for those remaining. Pop star Katy Perry performing at an Iowa campaign event for Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. Perry helped Clinton get the crowd to a roar before the candidate took the stage. She performed America the Beautiful before singing her hit song, Firework. By the way, today is also Perry's 31st birthday. Happy birthday, Katy. Happy birthday. So the Rams are set to host the Browns today at the Dome. Up next in sports, what QB Nick Foles is saying about Cleveland, whose defense is ranked last in the league. Plus, highlights from the Blues matchup against the Islanders last night and how long Jaden Schwartz would be sidelined by his broken ankle.